Hey there, and thanks for checking in with MeetYourSweet.com. Have you ever had that experience where you're on a date with a woman that you're really into? You're just getting to know each other and everything seems to be going great, and then you do something really boneheaded and screw it all up? This is pretty common, especially when things seem to have been going really well. Why? Because when you get over the hump and actually start getting to know someone a bit better and thinking that you might actually have met someone kind of cool, you can start feeling like there's a bit more at stake. And that's when nerves come into play and you can get tense and mistakes happen. If this ever happens to you, the good news is that you seriously don't even have to worry about it. There are a few specific things you can do to minimize damage and make sure that your date turns out better than ever. Oh, and by the way, these guidelines work no matter how well you know someone. So if you're already in a relationship and you want to start handling your differences better, these tips absolutely apply to you too. For starters, if you've done something silly and have kind of got her a bit pissed off, there's no need to start groveling because that's just going to kill the attraction and make things awkward for everyone. Instead, try just shutting up and letting her vent. Let her tell you what you did that irritated her, and don't try to make excuses or justify yourself. This is something that a lot of guys do. They try to explain why they did something, and most of the time it just makes you sound weak and defensive. Then, when she said her piece, make sure you appreciate her out loud for having the guts to bring it up. Seriously, if you're out with a woman and she actually addresses something that's on her mind, that's a major sign that she's top quality. Most people just get pissed off and just let things slide at the time, and then never return your phone calls. So if she's told you what's up, let her know you appreciate her having the guts to be honest before you say anything else. Your next step is to make sure she knows you are listening, which you can do by simply paraphrasing what she said right back to her. For example, if she told you that she hates it when you're always taking cell phone calls when you're out on dates together, you could say something like, "Okay, so you don't like it that I'm on the cell phone instead of being present with you." This makes sure there is no misunderstandings and makes it clear to her that you're really paying attention to what's bugging her. Fourth step, make sure nothing else is bugging her. A lot of the time, women feel sort of pressured to not complain or make things difficult. So there's a possibility that there's something else she wants to talk about, but isn't sure whether now's a good time. You can diffuse the tension by just asking her if anything else is up, which makes you sound caring and considerate and just like a really mature guy. If it's appropriate, apologize for whatever it was that's getting on her nerves, and then it's time to end the whole thing. Personally, I like to end a dispute on a high note by complimenting her again. It's a real stellar way to smooth out the remaining rough edges and put your best foot forward again. Now, just before I go, a quick word. Sometimes she's going to bring up something that you just don't care about. It might seem ridiculously petty or insignificant, or maybe you just can't identify with her about it. If this scenario comes up, you've pretty much got one of two options here, and how you react depends entirely on what sort of outcome you want to achieve with her. If what she's talking about really puts you off her, then you can decide to be totally straight up about it and let her know you don't agree with her and basically think she's being hypersensitive. However, if this is the path you choose to go down, you should be aware that you're most likely not going to be able to take things any further with her. Your second choice is this. If you want to make more progress with her and want to just overlook what's going on this time, you can also make a strategic decision to hold your tongue. This can be a very smart thing to do because it basically means you're going to get over this bump in the road to what could be a really rewarding relationship. Or at least you're choosing to overlook it until you know her a bit better and can make an informed decision about where you want to take things. Whatever you do, make sure you're listening to your instincts and aren't just doing what seems easiest at the time just for the sake of it. And by the way, holding your tongue can often be the best way to go until you know more about what kind of woman she is. There's no reason to cheat yourself out of something great by just being too hasty. If you want to know more about dating dynamics and get some great tips on attraction and women, feel free to check out the website. You can reach us at meetYourSweet.com/2men. Oh, and hey, don't forget about our product catalog. It's jam-packed with high-quality information that's specific to every single problem that you could have with meeting, approaching, and attracting women.